What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Work Smart Not Hard Live. This is a weekly live stream group. No one's here at the moment, though, but that's okay. And we meet every 7 days, and usually there's some kind of goal. I work with the people who join, and we set up tasks that we're going to work on. However, I recently had an experience that has inspired me to change how I handle the tasks and goals of this group and how I do the whole accountability thing. Okay? So let me start by reviewing the course that I took over the week. It was, hey, what's up, Kimmy?
Hello.
Oh, this is a different person. What? Oh. Rita, there's someone new here. My mind is blown.
And is her or his name Kimmy?
I think so. They even said hello. There was audio.
I just haven't been on for a few months because of my prep center going crazy.
Now I recognize your voice.
And you moved it to Sunday, so before it was Fridays, so yeah.
Yeah, it was easier. How have you been doing?
Pretty good. Still very busy with the prep center, so.
That's awesome.
What's a prep
Just moved to
center?
a new building.
What kind of prep center do you have?
Mostly FBA.
FBI prep center?
FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, not Federal
I
Bureau
thought
of
you said
Investigation.
FBI. I thought you said FBI. Like what?
My
The
Pennsylvania
FBI 's on the
accent.
call?
That's pretty awesome. I'm going to ask more about that because there's people listening who are going to want to know more about what a prep center is. They don't know the context. But before I get to that, I want to start by reviewing really quickly the course that I took over the week. So Rita wanted to take a songwriting course, and at first I was like, yeah, I'll humor this, but I'm not going to, whatever. But then I took the songwriting course, and it blew my mind. It was amazing. I loved it. And basically, the reason I liked it is because the whole first half of the course was about strategies to get your creative process flowing. And it wasn't anything to do with songwriting. And then after that, it was about songwriting. But I really love the mentality of this teacher. So let me show you guys real quick. This is the Skillshare course that I took over the week. It is Your Enlightened Guide to Lyrics and Songwriting by Adam Sweeney. And his mentality was, I definitely related to it a lot. He was very much like, you shouldn't think of trying to write a number of songs. People who write a lot of songs don't think, oh, I need to do 10, I need to do 20. They are stuck enjoying the process of songwriting and expressing themselves and find that they've made hundreds of songs over a period of time. But he was all about like how to cultivate and set up that mentality. And it really inspired me to look at how I deal with the accountability in these group goals. Because basically, every time I set up a goal, if I don't do that thing, which is often true because I kind of want to push myself, right? And so even if I do half of it, that's good. But a lot of the time, I'm not doing my goals in completion, right? But it dictates so much about how I feel if I'm not doing what I said I was going to do. And I often feel crappy, even though I did a bunch of really great stuff. And I want to make a system that can prevent that from happening, because even if we don't do what exactly we said we were going to do, if we do like a bunch of other things that are really productive, we should feel good about ourselves, you know? And so what I'm going to make the change is that instead of having like a specific task we're trying to do or something we're trying to accomplish, that's going to be the intent. So these tasks that we do are going to have two parts. There's the intent, which is the thing you're trying to accomplish. This is like the goal or whatever, but that's just the intent. Then there's the daily. And the daily is the thing that you can do every day that increases the chance that the intent happens, right? Because I was looking at my activity over the past week, for example. I said that I was going to make 2 videos for YouTube. I ended up making 1 and feeling crappy the whole week, knowing I didn't make 2 videos and knowing I wasn't going to. Yet I still felt crappy and wasted my energy feeling crappy for no reason and no benefit. But if I had adopted a different mentality, I probably would have recorded 2 videos. And that's what I really want to try and find a better balance of, is how can we get results out of ourselves and push ourselves better, but also at the same time not be beating ourselves up for not doing things. Because kind of the nature of pushing yourself is not necessarily completing everything. But you're still better off, if you try and get 10 steps ahead and you get 5 steps ahead, you're still ahead. Doesn't mean you failed in any way, right? And I really want to take away that focus on, like, did you do it or did you didn't do it? And figure out how we can adopt more of these daily mentalities. And I was sorry that I'm ranting a bit here. I haven't asked anyone, but I took that course and he talked about, like, viewing, like, if you want to make a song, he was saying how you just write every day for 15 minutes and you don't start by writing the song. You literally purposefully don't write the song. You just write about something for 15 minutes for a week. And then once you've done it for a week or two, then you start being like, okay, if I was going to write this song, what would the first part look like? You really ease yourself into it. And I love that kind of stuff because for me personally, that's how I get results. And that's how I've gotten more results. It's all out of daily things, like making YouTube videos every day. I don't do that anymore, but when I did, that completely changed my life. And I think that's true for most people. And if we focus more on these things that we can do in each day, then it helps us get away from that part of ourselves that's like, well, I didn't do it, I'm not going to do it, and I'm putting it off, right? But if it's a daily thing, you can only put it off for like 24 hours, and then you're early, like you have more flexibility. So for the tasks moving forward in this group, it's going to be in this new format, but I'll get more into that when we actually get to the task point. What's up, Ray? Awesome to see your face. I'm so glad we have multiple people here. This is awesome. It only started like 15 minutes ago or something. Great. How's it going?
That's what's up. I see a new person, Kimmy.
Yeah, so she's a not new person. Somebody that has participated before, but outside of when you guys really interacted.
Okay, I see. There we go. Returner.
Yeah, I'm making some noise here in the background, so I'll kind of have myself muted for a little bit.
Oh, it's okay. These calls are all about the people who show up. I'm really not worried about the audio quality of the video on YouTube or that kind of thing. Sometimes if people are having a lot of background noise and we can't hear what other people are saying, that's an issue, but don't worry about it at all.
Okay. Alrighty.
So Rita, I'm curious, what did you think of the course? Because I saw that you took a lot of it like the first day that we looked at it.
Hi, I don't know how this is my patchy spot. I'm getting ready to drive away and it's always patchy. So if the quality is bad, let me know and we'll talk later.
Okay.
I took a lot of that course and I liked it. Just for the same reasons that you said. I liked, and I didn't finish it, but I liked, it's kind of the same alley I'm going up right now is, I want to feel inspired to do things. I don't want, when I push myself, it just doesn't work. I've been trying it my whole life. Yes, sometimes you can get some things done, but yeah, there's a lot of bad feelings mixed in when you're doing it that way. And as Jack knows and Bray probably remembers, when I stopped doing eBay for like 3 months, and then I thought I was done with it, but just having that rest gave me that ability to come back to it. And I still don't do it like quote unquote I'm supposed to, but I'm happier about that now. And eBay's the thing I liked about eBay is just finding random stuff and selling it. I don't want to be a business. It's just not fun for me. So yeah, so this whole thing about just being inspired, and then when you do something when you really feel like it, and then it's great. I mean, I like that idea. I like that idea very much. So yeah.
Hard. You'd think it wouldn't be hard, but it's incredibly hard.
It's hard to find the balance because you don't there's that fear that you're going to just get lazy and not do anything, and that could happen too. I don't know.
I think I can segue that actually recently. So the past couple days or the past week or so, I have been feeling a bit sad or just a bit like sometimes I get in a mood where I'm not feeling like doing calls and I'm not feeling like talking to people, but ultimately whenever I actually talk to people, I usually feel better and I get out of that, right? But sometimes I get stuck that way. And it's hard to get out of it, right? And I noticed that this past week I had been feeling that way more often, and now I track all of the activities and the things that I'm supposed to do every day if I want to expect myself to be happy, right? Because that's what these rules are. They're 8 things that I need to do if if I'm doing these 8 things and I'm not happy, that doesn't exist. That doesn't happen, basically. I want to say that happens, that sometimes I'm just unhappy for no reason. But the reality is, I'm unhappy for not doing the things that actually make me a happy person, right? And because I'm tracking everything now, I can just look at it, and it looks fairly consistent up until like a week ago, and then it's a freaking checkerboard, and I stopped doing a bunch of stuff. And like, yeah, maybe I was sick or something happened, and then I lost some momentum. But either way, there is a correlation. There's absolutely some innate connection between our actions and how we're feeling emotionally. And it's easy to get a little bit depressed and stop acting. But theoretically, if we just don't stop acting and we keep moving, I'm saying acting wrong. I mean like to be in action. You know what I mean? To be doing the things that we have chosen, that we have decided are good for us. We think that, not not an expectation, right? To do these things regularly, that's really, really the goal. But what I'm learning now is that there is a part of me that does the things I need to do and is really happy when I'm doing that. But then there's also this part of me that falls out of that. But what's interesting about the part of me that stops doing these things is that it's not that I really want to stop doing these things. It's just when some kind of weird, complex thought pattern happens and I feel like I shouldn't, or I feel whatever, I'm disconnected, I'm sleepy, I'm tired. But the reality is, doing the things always helps. And what I'm finding now, especially with tracking this, is that I'm much more able to kind of bring these two different parts of myself to be closer together. So that in the past, I would completely stop doing things. I wouldn't do anything regarded to changing my future for a week, maybe a month, right? Now that's impossible. I don't go a single day without doing something related to like making a YouTube video or having a conversation or a consultation or making some kind of content or developing some kind of concept for the video game in the future. There's not a single day in my existence where one of these things doesn't happen. And most of the time they're happening 10 or 20 times a day, right? And that is a progression from the past, because it used to be that I didn't even necessarily believe in online income. I didn't think this was possible. I thought that it was just a thing that was a pipe dream, maybe. And I was kind of still stuck, and a lot of people judging me for not being in school and that kind of stuff. And there would be times where I just would get overwhelmed by all that energy, and I would let it be true and not do it. But that was the problem. It's that I was just letting it be true. The reality is, if we just work on the things that we want to work on, and we do the things that make us happy, we become more happy. We just have to get used to doing the things that make us happy and try and get rid of the habit of not doing the things that make us happy. But that can be really hard.
I guess I'm still figuring out what things make me happy. You know, like I think my lists keep changing of what I want to do. Like, I mean, I'm just sort of experimenting with really going, this isn't going to be for everybody, but just after a lot of burnout and stuff, I'm just experimenting with going really, really basic and then adding things in as I feel inspired. Like, you know, just very basic, making sure I get that morning shower, you know, just really, really basic. And the other biggie is getting tons of sleep. That's been, and I don't think I'm getting in the depression zone with it. I'm just trying to get 8 hours, just make sure, because I don't get good sleep sometimes. So so I wake up and then I can't sleep for an hour or two sometimes. And so in the morning, I take that into account and say, you know what, I can lay here and sleep another hour. I need to try to make up for that deficit a little bit. So I know it sounds, yeah. So for me, I've had to go really, really basic. And I know that some people, it's whatever, they're not into that. And I don't blame them. If you're doing really well with what you're doing, then, that's great. That's something, to be proud of. But I just needed to take a real step back.
So what does make you happy? Or in this moment, in these current times, what do you feel makes you happy?
Right now, lately, been getting together with friends, small groups of friends. And yeah, eating together, relaxing. And I went on a bike ride this morning, which I had done in a really long time, and that felt really good. Yeah, that's the biggie, is socialization. And I got on my bike today. I don't know if I'll do it, again. It's like what I feel inspired to do this morning.
I remember a point where you were like, I wish I would ride my bike more.
Yeah, well, it doesn't mean I'm going to ride my bike more, though.
Hey, but you rode it today.
It's not going to turn into a goal.
Yeah,
and that's what I just don't want any goals right now. I mean, I have something I have to do every day already, and that's take care of dogs. And that's something that's been set up, and it goes, and I don't have to pay a lot of extra attention to it. So it's sort of like, for the moment, since I'm not hurting financially, I'm not rich, but I'm not hurting. I kind of want to be like a kid again. I haven't done this since I was a kid. Just do what I feel like doing. I know it's crazy. I know it sounds really crazy, but
no, that's being alive. What's the point in growing up and having all these responsibilities and the whole world being your oyster if you can't enjoy it? That's kind of what, there's a difference between getting old and growing bitter and actually growing up in a mature way. You need to understand your inner child and know how to enjoy something. If you let yourself grow up and you lose your ability to enjoy life, well, what the fuck was the point of growing up? That isn't what growing up is. Growing up is knowing the balance between when to be childlike and when to be mature. It's not just being mature all the time. That's dumb. Who wants to do that?
Yeah, there's nothing immature about having fun either, so I mean, but yeah, it's just allowing myself to enjoy my life. And this, like I said, this isn't for everybody. Not everybody maybe has been as hard on themselves as I have, but I never let myself relax. I'm always planning on some business or something to make money, and then when I'm not doing that, the few times I'm not doing that, I'm reading politics, which is stressful and retarded. So I just hadn't really let myself relax most of my life. I was a single parent, and I felt that burden very heavily, although I probably didn't need to. It's just something that I had to take care of my children, of course, and I wanted to, but I mean, I just wouldn't let myself relax, ever. So this is my relax time. I don't know where it's going. It may not go anywhere. I mean, I'll just relax the rest of my life. I don't know. We'll see.
What about you, Bray? What makes you happy?
I don't think she's at a bad spot, where you're at, even though you haven't had much time to relax yet. I think if you would have took the relaxed approach, you might, be worse off, or I don't know. You don't know. Don't think about the past, though. Don't think about the past. Just keep pushing on toward the future.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to, and I don't need to, but I just an automatic thing. I'm trying to explain to you guys why I'm doing this, because I know it sounds crazy, but I know I don't really need to. But
do you actually think that we think you sound crazy?
I don't know what other people think. No, I don't mean literally crazy, but I mean, this has been somewhat of a task-oriented, thing that we've been doing together, and Now I'm just like, screw that. And like, should I even be on the call if all I'm doing is relaxing? I mean, I still, like I said, I still do my job. But, yeah, but even my dog walking thing, it was a very slow process. I was always interested in other things. The dog walking thing just kind of, I made some effort, but it's kind of funny. The thing I really didn't care about it that much, to be honest, and then it ended up being the thing that I made a living at, so kind of funny how that works.
Huh.
Right. Taking care of dogs, in the capacity I'm doing it, you don't have to, it's just not something you have to strive to learn, like day trading, what you're doing, there's a lot more to learn, so it's a different kind of thing.
Okay,
How's your day trading going?
it's going all right. I'm still going up and down, but definitely I'm right there at the tip of the iceberg. I feel it. So it's going good. My courses been doing pretty good. People have been learning from them and stuff and sharing their experiences with me and stuff. So
That's awesome.
what's been
That's motivating.
yeah. The main goal of my course is to get people to not lose a lot of money while they're trying to learn. That's the main
That's
thing.
Awesome, man. That was a great sentence. I love that.
Because if they just go out there willy nilly, they're gonna, you definitely have to come in there with a game plan. So
yeah, I could see how people could lose thousands of dollars especially if they had the money to blow.
Easy. You could, because you think you see something go up, and you're like, oh, I gotta get on that, and then, woo, down it goes.
She knows, Rita knows, yep.
Yep, but it's because of Bray, Kimmy, I did some day trading with Bray, for a little while, and because Bray encouraged me to just do, what it was, a couple bucks at a time or whatever, whatever it was, I can't remember right now, but not much money, $10, less than $10 at a time, I think, usually, or 20. Yeah, it's like 20, I think I would do. Yeah, 20. So then if you start losing, you can cut your losses at, like when you've only lost like $2, but you're still learning, and so I only lost like maybe $10 through the whole thing. Well, 20 actually, out of 100. And then I actually invested in something and made my money back, like long term, not a day trade, just that Joy Inc. that I was telling you about.
Yeah,
but now they're back down again, so I might do it again. I just made like my $10 back, and then I got out.
There you go.
The thrills.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's all fun. I didn't mean to take over.
No, it's good, man. Day trading gets really lonely, so it's really fun to see what people other do and how they visualize the market, how they see the market through their eyes and stuff. So it's really fun. That's cool. You made your money back. Good.
Yeah, it's a lot. Day trading and FBA selling is pretty much very similar.
Yeah, you're looking at graphs all day.
What's that?
You guys look at graphs all day.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, not even necessarily. I mean, like you see something start spiking and selling well, and then you go all in, and then all of a sudden it tanks. It's like, I don't know, same world. Commodities are commodities.
Wow. That's funny. I didn't know that.
Yep. Like, especially when this whole thing went down with COVID, like everybody started buying grocery. So if you were selling grocery online, like you were just breaking it in, but then you go too deep and then everybody starts going in and out. They've opened up more and there's other places, and now things are starting to, go down, and it's just a big game, all of it. But it's a fun game.
I think it's going to be a lot of mouse and cat going around. A lot of people chasing for the next 2 years. Yeah.
You want to introduce yourself to Bray and Rita? Bray, do you remember? Do you remember Kimmy?
No. She's a new voice.
I think I was like, my last time one was like your first. I think something like that. because I do remember you, but I think it was like the very end.
Okay, you must
Because
have
then
been on
I moved.
first.
I ended up
I was
moving 2 different locations with my business, and I got a bunch of new clients, and I've just been swimming ever since, staying afloat.
Hey, oh, how'd you find Jack's channel?
Oh, since dropshipping days.
Oh man.
Okay.
And before that, my nephew's big in Zelda, so there's the whole Zelda days, So
Oh really?
Okay.
Wow, I think you're
yeah.
the only person who knows that I made videos about Zelda.
My little nephew is obsessed with. Well, I mean, he's 11 now, but he was obsessed with Zelda. He still loves the Zelda though.
He's gonna love Zelda for the rest of his life, and then listen to the music. I had that experience. Like I was exposed to that world growing up, and now whenever I'm like feeling stressed, I'm like, okay, Google, play me some Zelda music.
Nice. Yeah,
So
his
you
big dream was YouTube, so he's running with it.
Is he one of those kids who wants to be a YouTuber?
Oh yes,
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
like he has a channel and he's just like going crazy doing all sorts of things.
That's amazing. That I look back sometimes and I wonder, like, man, YouTube changed my life, and I didn't start making videos till I was like 24. I'm like, what if I was 14? That's a decade, That's a long time.
Right?
I've been making videos for like 3 years now, 4 years. Not a decade. This
Right?
kid, by the time how old is he?
He's 11 now.
Man, yeah. So he could have as much video experience as I do by the time he's 16.
Right? As long as he doesn't go the toxic route, and that's what I'm really trying to gear him away from, because he keeps being drawn that way.
Oh, you mean like,
Like,
what do you mean? Elaborate more.
well, a lot of the YouTubers are just kind of jerks. They're real toxic and they're like,
Yeah.
kind of rude. And he, all the really popular ones seem to be that way. So like trying to steer him away from that and show him the value in not being toxic. It's kind of it's a struggle.
tug of war.
That sounds like
war,
a general
yeah.
struggle of all parenthood.
I'm not a parent though. I'm just an aunt.
You can still experience parenthood problems.
Right, yes.
Hey Kim, can I ask if your kid is on TikTok?
He is on
Oh
TikTok.
my gosh, that thing is taking over, and it just puts anything in front of their face and stuff, and it's like,
Right?
man, where are you guys
Whether for
watching?
good or for bad.
Yeah. It's and the popular ones are the bad ones. So.
Right? And that's what's sad. Like, I mean, there is some good teaching type things that are popular too, but to try to get them to see that they can get far by educating people and not just being something bizarre.
Yeah.
It's hard to gauge.
Yeah, thankfully YouTube, like a lot of the YouTubers who are like that were kind of fostered by the old YouTube algorithm, basically, because nowadays YouTube is much better at identifying what content is in your video. They're like, they have a whole transcript of it. They have analytics about how often you say certain words, what you're talking about, when people, like, they have used their data to really be able to understand what's in your videos. And this allows them to push videos that are really engaging to people like you. Whereas in the past, it was about what was getting attention. It didn't matter how long a person watched the video, it just mattered if they watched it at all. And this really fostered a whole generation of YouTubers who it's all about getting something crazy or a strong emotional reaction or something to happen in order to get views. Whereas nowadays, it's much easier to make content that is like instructional, that gets attention than it used to be. Because now YouTube really has gotten better at actually like identifying what's in your video and sharing that with other people who are interested. So I'm just saying this because the mentality you're talking about isn't something that I think is part of video sharing platforms. It's part of the way that the platforms design themselves and how they allow videos to float to the surface, how they choose to recommend videos to their users. These are the processes that determine kind of whether they're incentivizing people to make good, informative content. Because that's also a debate on YouTube. Like, a lot of people view YouTube as just this random place with cat videos and stuff. They, like, if they heard me say I dropped out of university to go to YouTube, they'd think that's ridiculous. I'm joking. There's no way I'd actually do that. Whereas for me, it's the single most informative educational tool that exists. I've been able to teach myself something fundamental in every single part of my life, where I live, how I work, the people I live with, how I clean my environments. Every single system that I use in my life has some information that I've gotten from YouTube. I now watch YouTube videos every single day of my life about various things without even trying to. And it is a huge, valuable source of information. But that doesn't mean people use it for that reason, you know? If you're just distracting yourself and watching memes and cat videos all day, I don't know how much better off you really are, you know?
Hey, Jack, you know how people cry when celebrities, like a celebrity they really like to listen to, a music celebrity dies?
Yeah.
Well, I would probably cry if YouTube died. If this went away, I'll just
Oh,
have to
man.
cry for a few days.
Me too.
I'll be like, what? F you, government. Oh.
I don't think there's any way YouTube could go away. Like, even if it went away, it would so quickly be replaced by some other like the world needs and requires a video database that is socialized. And social networks like Facebook use video, but they don't function the same way. And that's why, like, you kind of see historically that Facebook and YouTube in some ways have tried to become the other one, and usually when they try and do this, it fails. Like, Google launched a whole thing, it was like Google Plus, where they were just trying to compete with Facebook basically, and it was like insignificant, and they ended up shutting it down because people weren't really using it, even though Google is huge and everyone's using Google, but people weren't using Google Plus. So, you know, it's kind of interesting. So I'm curious. I asked Rita what the things were that made her happy. So I think both of you guys should answer this question as well. Either you want to start?
I'm not really sure what makes me happy. I'm a very driven person, so I like to be busy. So that's at this point, what makes me happiest. I don't really chill out well. Like I don't.
What makes you feel
have
productive?
I don't
So
always feel productive, but I like to be busy, even if it's
like
not
to be
productive.
busy if it's not productive.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, I would much prefer to be productive, but sometimes I feel like I'm not productive, although I am always busy. Put it that way.
There's got to be things. Okay, because everyone has like a language, right? There's actions that you find enjoyment in, and then there's actions that you find really boring. So what kind of actions do you enjoy? This is kind of what I'm trying to get at, is what.
Gotcha. So what I really enjoy, like especially now, and one of the reasons why I'm doing the whole prep thing, is that I like to help people learn this game and do well with it, right? So that's part of why I'm doing the prep center. I help other people get their items in. I spend a lot of my time actually tutoring people, it seems, into what they're doing, because I get a lot
That
of
must be
clients.
amazing networking.
It's fun. I love it. Yeah. And it's just so much more rewarding than before this. I was an operations manager for a transport company for 8 years, and that was just stressful. Like just always dealing with people, and just trying to get deliveries made on time, and just weird things that would happen. This is just like me, the computer, customers, just like no other drama. And I really like that much better. And as far as like things I hate are just administrative things, cleaning, that kind of thing. Like, and I don't know that I hate billing, but I'm much better getting everything else done. Billing is like the last thing that I put off to the end, that kind of thing. So
That's cool. So, that's so, man, you must, so many eBay sellers, and there's so many different kinds of people, and you get to connect with those people. And Amazon, wow, that's amazing.
it's fun. It really is. And some other coaches that are out there in the space have, they send students to me. So it's kind of fun being involved in people who are taking their first steps. And I also have some really experienced sellers that I'm learning a lot from. So it's a whole range of things, and I like that part of it. What I don't like now, what my real growing pains are, is hiring staff. So that's been like, because I've been growing so much, I'm trying to bring on some new staff, and that's where my challenge is.
It's impossible to make that smooth, is it?
Right, exactly. You just can't duplicate yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't have time to really babysit, like, but I do, because I'm like overly cautious about, people, them handling other people's accounts. Like, I usually give them something of my own to kind of like, make sure they're doing it right. But so that ends up being a little bit more stressful, because I feel like I'm doing my work plus theirs, because I'm double checking everything. So it's been, and with COVID, like, everything's just so weird right now anyway. So
Chris talks about a lot of those growing pains.
Right.
What about you, Bray? What makes you happy, or what makes you feel and enjoy? What's that? I don't know how to say that better. How could I rephrase that, Kimmy, so that you would answer it? Because I've been in that situation before where, like, because I value happiness a lot, because me being more happy is me being more productive. So I have that association, whereas that's not true for a lot of people. A lot of them view happiness as like an independent thing from productivity, kind of, or like maybe a similar thing, but not the same. So I'm often confusing people, because I'm like, how do you be happy? And then they're like, this is about work. Why are you talking about happiness? Like,
I'm generally, my disposition is happy. I'm generally pretty happy regardless of what I'm doing. So
okay.
that's not really, an issue for me. I'm enjoying my life very much.
Good. That is so awesome to hear.
That's the holy grail, to make money and be happy.
Right?
Man, it's all within our grasp. But what makes me happy generally is really like staying active. To me, kind of make me happy. Like as long as like I know that I'm progressing towards something, constantly progressing towards something, or helping people out. If they ask me to help them out on a job and stuff, and I'm learning from that job experience, and they're happy with how I helped them out or the type of work, that really makes me happy. I'm one of those type of people that likes doing a really good job at something and don't like to talk about it, and just like people to like notice it by themselves. So that's what generally makes me happy.
That's like when you I relate to what you just said, because there's so many times where I cook food for somebody, and then they are trying to be polite, so they're like, oh, this is great, and in my head I'm like, just eat it or don't eat it, and if you eat it, I know it's good. Like, why are you telling me words? It's food. Words are not the food. Like, what are you doing? But every time I cook people food, they always feel like, oh, I gotta be polite, I gotta do this, and then I'm just like, I don't even believe you right now, even if you're being honest. So, like, there's no point, It's funny.
What really screws with your head is when you live with them and they say the same thing every time. It's like they're programmed to do it. Like, yeah, this is really great. It's like, yeah, I knew he's gonna say that, whatever. But tell me like how you like it, or how you would have cooked it, or something.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Well, I'm like I feel more comfortable when people critique food, just because I like it when people are themselves and they're comfortable. So if I can tell that they're lying or exaggerating, or maybe like they're just doing something to be polite, I feel like they're not comfortable. So I'm like, what can I do to make you comfortable? But some people they're always like that. They're like never comfortable with any kind of confrontation about disagreement. But that's okay. So I want to move on to the next point of this. So I was talking earlier about making some changes to how, because typically with this group, I've been working with each person and having each one of us come up with a task that we're going to do over the week or whatever. I want to change the form of that a little bit. So now there's an intention and then there's a daily. Okay? And the intention is like the thing that you want to do, but then the daily is like what you're going to, something you can do every day that'll increase the chance of that happening. And I want to figure out how we can make a system where it's not really about whether you do or don't do it. It's about you identified something and you said that you would feel better and you would enjoy and you want to do it. That's it. And you just identified that. Maybe you didn't work on it, maybe you did, whatever. The whole process, the point of this call, I think, is to give that foundation so that there's a structure to identify these things. If you do them or don't, it doesn't really matter to me. What matters to me is if people actually show up on like a regular basis. That's all I care about. So I'm going to come up with an example for me. So over the past week, my last thing was to make 2 YouTube videos. And I know that making these YouTube videos is good for me and good for my life, but the reality is that I didn't feel like doing that. I felt like, oh, I have to be doing this. And I really want to get out of that mentality of doing things by making myself do them that way. But I also understand I enjoy making YouTube videos. The reality is if I had sat down and made the second video, I would have enjoyed it and done it. I just didn't do it, right? Because I had these limiting thoughts and headspaces. So I'm going to try and reformat the same goal, and I'm going to see how it goes over the next week. Except this time, my intention is to make YouTube videos for the Nicaragua content. I'm not going to say if it's one video or multiple videos, but that's the direct action I want to cause to happen, is to make some more videos. And so what can I do every day to increase the chance that that happens? I can record a video on my phone, even if I'm not uploading it. And for me, that's super, I can just do that. I've recorded tons of videos that I ever uploaded. And I see now that if I had done that, it's really easy for me to just pull a phone out and record something. The moment I press record, I've accomplished that daily task. That's it, right? So theoretically, if I adopt this starting tomorrow, where each day I have to record something. I don't have to publish anything. I just have to record something, knowing that my intention is to make more videos for the Nicaragua content about the Managua office. Then theoretically, I will make more videos. But I like this because it's flexible. Basically, I don't want to keep beating myself up for not doing all of these things, but also I want to be able to pick things that push me, you know? So I want to have a balance, but I want to feel better. I want to be better to myself emotionally. So my intention is to make more videos, and the daily that I'm going to do to accomplish this is to record one video per day. And every time I say every day, I mean 5 out of 7 days. Weekends like don't exist to me. And ironically, that's when I end up doing all my fucking work. Just goes to show.
That's funny.
That's too funny. Psychology, huh? Back of your head.
Every
huh?
Saturday, man.
Well, psychology.
Hey.
Is it partly because you know the call's coming up and you want to have something to share?
Yeah, no, it's definitely because the call's coming up and I know that. But there's times where I just basically I either start the day the call happens or the day after, or I start the day before. Like it's either one of those two. So that's why I think I tend to do better with daily things because
Well,
it's
maybe we need daily calls.
easier. Yeah, I can't procrastinate a daily task for too long. You know, if I say I'm going to do something by the next call, I could put it off for 3 days versus 4, and it doesn't really change it. Whereas if I say I'm going to do something every day I don't do it, that's another I didn't, I don't know. I feel like it's easier. Any of you guys feeling any inspiration? Any ideas?
Yeah, I know what my daily goal is gonna be. So just based on how we're gonna change this format and stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, you want me to go ahead and say my goal?
Yeah, I guess
Get
so.
out the way. Okay. So I want to get back to posting on YouTube after I get done trading. So I want to make my daily goal to start up the screencast, the screen recorder,
Okay.
and do that. Don't have to talk on it, anything. If I
Yeah,
just
you just
start it
gotta
up
put,
every day,
okay, that's perfect. Yeah, your
start
intention is
habit.
to make more
Yeah.
videos, and the daily method to accomplish that is to press record.
Yep.
Okay, nice, nice. Rita or Kimmy, anything?
Yeah, I have something. This week I sort of became aware of, in a different way, I became aware of enhanced dog walks where you're not actually training exactly, but you're just maybe doing some things to, for certain dogs that will stimulate them more.
Okay.
And so my task this week will be to find more information about it. There's not much about it, which I like. That could actually be a cool niche that not everybody's in yet.
Yeah.
So, and
I hadn't heard of that before, but I guess it's the
Yeah.
difference between like walking a dog and walking a dog while the dog is running in circles or something, like one would
Yeah,
make
there's
the dog
different
more
things.
tired, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that do what they call adventure walks, where they go in the woods, and sometimes in some places they can go off leash and stuff like that. So that's sort of along the same lines. But I don't know. I don't really know much about it yet. But I figure I'm already walking dogs, and maybe it's an enhanced thing that I can do that I can charge a little bit more for.
Okay.
Because I do love like animal psychology. Like I love learning about how different they are than us and things like that. Like there's so much we don't know, but they have learned a lot in the last few years. So I do really have an interest in that. So I think it could be interesting.
Okay. So that's the intention. And so what is the thing? Would it just be like Google search each day, or doing research each day? How would you quantify that?
Well, I have a friend that I was telling about it that's a dog person, and she says she kind of already does it. So I'm going to kind of pick her brain a little bit.
Okay.
And she's not the one that told me about it, and I was telling her that I had run across this, she said, well, I kind of do that with some of my dogs. So I'll pick her brain, and then I'll also, do some more research online. And I think there's a lot of room for innovation, which is also fun. I don't always have to do what everybody else does. Sometimes it's cool just to kind of let the juices flow, because sometimes when I see what other people have done, I get like kind of, sometimes it demotivates me, because I'm like, so just one reason or another, like, oh, I can't do that, or oh, I should have thought of that, or I don't know, all these stupid things.
I felt great about building my chimney until I looked at the skyscraper.
Yeah, something like that. Is that an expression?
No.
No, you just said that?
Yeah.
That actually happened to you?
No, yeah, it's just metaphor. I just made it up.
I love it. That's cool. That's a good one. But yeah, it's kind of like that. Like I think, oh, everybody's already doing it. And, it was a dumb idea. I don't know. Stupid shit. See why I need to relax. So yeah, I'm just going to look at it and just think about it, and like sort of look at things on the periphery of it too. Like, I'm going to look at the games that are available for dogs. And I'm going to look at the sports that dogs play. There's something they do. I can't remember right now what it's called. They have sports they play with certain types of dogs with balls, push balls around and stuff. Kind of interesting. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I just want to look at some of those things, and just see. That's it. With no goal in sight. Just see what happens. Just read and watch videos and see what's up.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds solid. One second, let me write mine real quick. Awesome. What about you, Kimmy?
I think my main goal for this week is going to be to do an onboarding video. I find myself answering the same questions all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, for my new clients. just to kind of screen
Oh, yeah, so they
record my
watch a
screen
video. Okay.
of the processes. I find myself repeating myself a lot, and then I find that I missed something, that comes back later. So I want to try to get that process streamlined, and I've been trying to get around to it for a month now, but I need to do it.
So
So I think that's my
how
goal for the week.
what do you use to record when you make videos?
OBS.
Hey, awesome.
Yeah, my husband got into that like last year sometime for his channel, so I started using it too.
Yeah, it's free, and oh man, you can do so many things. Have you seen some of the advanced like OBS usage?
No, I haven't done anything with advanced stuff. I just do the minor click record. He's
So
doing some of the advanced stuff with his channel, but not me.
you can have like this doesn't even touch into the advanced things really, but a simple thing that some people do is you have like your YouTube intro, your outro, right? And they're key binded. So you press record, but your video hasn't actually started yet. It's just it's showing the intro, and then after the intro, you know exactly when the intro ends because you know how long it is. Then your video is there, what you're currently recording, and then you can press another button and show the ending on top of your recording, and then as soon as that ends, it just shuts the recording down. So you can output a file in one swoop that is an intro, content, and an ending. And you didn't have
Nice.
to ever edit it. It's amazing. Like, there's also
Nice.
ways for live
What's that
streaming.
called?
That's just adding a video resource. It's not like a plugin or something. You just
Okay.
you upload a video into OBS, and then you go into the settings and you attach a key binding to play the video. And so then
Key binding.
then you just click that button, usually like F12 or whatever, right? And then as long as you have OBS open, it'll show the media file, and you can use that to make things that you would normally have to edit and post-process later.
Nice.
Super powerful tool. There's also stuff you can do live, like say you're having a live stream and somebody donates or something. You can press a button and it'll show like an animation in the middle of your video and show the person's name because it's hooked up to the YouTube or something like that. There's a lot of like crazy stuff that some like video game streamers do that's like must have taken ages to set up, but it's super cool when it works.
Well, cool.
Looks like we lost Bray for a minute. Okay, so we have all of our tasks. If you want to, Kimmy, we usually write what our weekly thing is in the Discord channel. You don't have to, but it just helps because then I can just look there and ask next week.
Sure.
You'd be amazed how often I've taken notes on a piece of paper, and I always end up losing that piece of paper, putting it somewhere else. So having them in
Story of
Discord
my
is
life. I hear
really,
ya.
really helpful. And now there's one more thing to cover, and that's to pick the course for the week. Do either of you have a preference? Basically, the way this works, Kimmy, is we pick a course, and then I take it. Other people are welcome to take it, but if they don't, that's fine, because I'll just summarize like my main takeaway from the course next week. So like if there's something you kind of want to learn about, but you're not going to take a course, but you might be interested in someone else taking a course and then telling you what it was like, then, perfect opportunity for that. Also, Rita, if there's anything you're interested in. I'm not going to underestimate other people's categories anymore, because last week I was like, it was about songwriting, and I was thinking, I'll go with this, but I wasn't thinking that it would be super useful. And then it was way more useful than any other course I've taken recently. So my prejudices are just...
I thought I'd let,
right?
I let somebody else pick this week. I always pick.
What did you say, Kimmy?
Oh, I just said that's how it always goes with the prejudices, changing everything around on you. Like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
I thought I was right. look at some Skillshare courses. What am I trying to learn about right now? Oh, freaking mango trees. Is there anything about mango trees? Have any of you ever had a mango tree before?
No, I haven't.
It's so much
I
work.
don't even like mangoes.
I have 2 cats, and the cats are nowhere near as much work as this mango tree. There's mangoes like everywhere, absolutely everywhere. We have more mangoes. We get like 10 to 20 mangoes per day. It's absolutely bonkers. I have to have systems to deal with all the mangoes. And let's see, I searched for mango tree, and there is digital painting in Manga Studio. I want to make video games at some point, so I'm interested in like rendering and that kind of thing. And
Does anybody use Slack?
I do not, but a lot of people I live with and associate with use Slack, yeah.
Okay, so one of the reasons why it looks just a
I
little
was just
bit
told about
too
that this week. And I'm trying to figure out how to implement that into my life.
Okay, let's take a Slack course then. I've been meaning to learn more about Slack, actually. Slack.
Testing.
What up?
Hello, hello. Oh, you can hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I had to. This is the second time I've had to turn the whole thing off and start over. Zoom. The Zoom.
Slack. Why can I not find? How do you spell Slack?
I think
S-L-A-C-K?
it's SLACK.
Huh. I know Slack is really big. There's definitely courses about it on Skillshare. Is it associated with another word? Slack tutorial? Guide? Cascade, Scrum, Agile, Angular. Slack is Slack is such a what? I've heard so much about that. How is there no course on Skillshare about it? Huh, I'm really surprised by that.
There's your opportunity.
Yeah, right? I can't teach on Skillshare. Oh man.
Well, then don't get with my topic.
No, I'm just gonna go to YouTube and find a Slack. How to use Slack right. 23-minute video. Perfect.
Hi there, my name's Chris Americos, and I've been teaching English for the last 11 years. And right now, I'm having a free seminar
YouTube
where I
is
teach you
playing
how to speak
a
better
video.
English in just
Where is that audio coming? There we go. Fixed it. Awesome. Okay, so our course is a YouTube video this week. Become a Slack Pro in 20 minutes. Look at that.
Hey, that sounds perfect.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna share this. I share it here, but also if you need to find the course link, you can just go into the Discord chat and look at the weekly course.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Cool. That works out because I've been meaning to learn more about Slack for a while. All right, then. I think that's everything, guys. Anything you guys want to close up on, or any comments before we leave?
No, I'm pretty good. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you guys? Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a good call. I like our new tasks or whatever we're calling them. Do we still call them tasks?
Tasks is better than goals. As long as we're not calling them goals, I'm happy.
All right.
Dailies is good too. I like dailies.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And also, you guys are fully welcome to not adopt that if you want to just, if doing something weekly works better. I just know for myself, definite, all things are indicating that I function better when I say I'm going to do this every day for a week. That's better than me saying I'm going to do this in a week.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like what you were saying about, I just have to look at it. Like maybe for me, it'll be, I just have to look at that thing every day. And then if I feel inspired, you know,
Yeah.
a couple of the days, hopefully I'll feel inspired to do something.
Yeah, even if 1 or 2 days is inspired, that's solid.
Yeah. Because you're not going to do the work's not, any kind of creative work's not going to be as good if you're not inspired anyway. So
Yeah.
maybe
Very
1 or
true.
2 days of really inspired work is better than 5 days of so-so work. I don't know.
We'll see. All right, guys.
Yes.
See you next time.
Thanks, Jack. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
See ya. Thanks.